Chapter 1. Betrayed on the first day the world ended was the day I lost everything. My name is Emily Carter, and if you had asked me a week ago what my biggest problem was, I would have said choosing a wedding dress. Now, I was hiding behind an abandoned convenience store while flesh-eating zombies searched for me. The apocalypse started at exactly 2:17 p.m. People suddenly collapsed in the streets. Some died instantly. Others rose minutes later with gray skin, glowing red eyes, and an endless hunger for human flesh. The world fell apart in a matter of hours, and the person I trusted most betrayed me. Emily, run. My boyfriend, Jason, grabbed my hand as we escaped through the crowded streets. At least I thought he was helping me. We reached a narrow alley where a group of zombies blocked our path. I looked at Jason desperately. What do we do? His eyes changed. Cold. Calculating. Then he shoved me forward. I stumbled. Straight toward the zombies. I'm sorry, Emily, he said. You were slowing me down. My heart stopped. The zombies lunged. Jason turned and ran. Without looking back, the man I planned to marry had sacrificed me to save himself. I wanted to scream. Cry. Ask why. But none of that mattered, because death was only seconds away. Suddenly, a strange voice echoed inside my head. System activated, portable storage space unlocked, invisibility skill unlocked. What? Before I could react, a glowing portal appeared beside me. Instinctively, I jumped inside. The world disappeared. The zombies vanished. Silence surrounded me. I stood in a massive white space the size of a warehouse. What is this? Congratulations. You have awakened a unique ability. I stared in shock. A storage space. An invisible dimension? The realization hit me. I wasn't dead. I was alive. And I had just gained powers. For the first time since the apocalypse started, hope ignited inside me. Jason thought I was dead. Good. Let him believe it, because one day I would find him again, and when I did, he would regret betraying me. Over the next week, I discovered my abilities. The storage space could hold almost anything. Food, weapons, vehicles, supplies. I simply touched an object and stored it instantly. Even better, I could become invisible for up to 5 minutes, perfect for sneaking past zombies, while survivors fought over scraps of food. I quietly emptied supermarkets, while gangs battled over supplies. I looted entire warehouses. My strength grew rapidly. Then I discovered zombie cores. Small crystals hidden inside evolved zombies. When absorbed, they enhanced abilities. My invisibility lasted longer. My storage space expanded, and I became stronger. But I wasn't the only one evolving. Other survivors were awakening powers too. Fire users, lightning users, telekinetics, beast tamers, and some of them were terrifying. My first encounter happened in a ruined shopping mall. A fire wielder named Victor demanded my supplies. Hand everything over. I smiled. No, his flames exploded toward me. The battle nearly destroyed the entire building, but after defeating him, I obtained his zombie cores. My abilities evolved again. Unfortunately, Victor was only the beginning. As months passed, I encountered stronger and stronger enemies, powerful warlords, mutated monsters, elite ability users. Every battle pushed me closer to becoming one of the strongest survivors alive. Then I met him, Damien Black, the Ice Tyrant, one of the most feared men in the apocalypse. Tall, powerful, arrogant, and unbelievably annoying. The first thing he said to me was, "You're weak." I almost punched him. For months he mocked me, teased me, challenged me, treated me like an inexperienced child. I hated him. Absolutely hated him. But when an army of mutant zombies surrounded us, Damien risked his life to save mine. Again. And again. And again. Slowly, I realized something. Behind his cold personality was a man carrying countless scars, a man who had lost everything. Just like me. As our powers evolved through countless zombie cores, our bond deepened. What started as rivalry became friendship. Friendship became trust, and trust slowly became something neither of us expected. Love. But fate wasn't finished with me yet, because one day, years after the apocalypse began, I came face to face with Jason, the man who betrayed me, and he had become one of the strongest ability users in the world. This time, I wasn't the helpless woman he abandoned. This time, I was the nightmare he never saw coming. Chapter 2. My first zombie core. I spent the entire night inside my storage space. The white world was silent. No zombies. No screams. No betrayal. Just me. For the first time since the apocalypse began, I felt safe, but safety wouldn't last forever. I needed answers. System. What exactly is this place? A blue screen appeared before me. Portable storage space. Current size 100 cubic meter. Special ability. Time flows 10 times slower inside the space. My eyes widened. 10 times slower? That meant while 10 hours passed outside, only 1 hour passed for me inside. This ability was unbelievable. I could rest, organize supplies, and plan without worrying about the dangers outside. I suddenly remembered Jason. The image of him pushing me toward the zombies replayed in my mind. The pain hit me all over again. I clenched my fists. No, I wiped away my tears. Crying won't help me survive. The old Emily had died in that alley. The new Emily would become strong. Very strong. The next morning, I cautiously exited my storage space. The alley was empty. The zombies had wandered away. Activating my invisibility skill, I quietly moved through the city. The streets looked like a nightmare. Burning cars, abandoned buildings, blood everywhere. The smell of death lingered in the air. I fought the urge to panic. Instead, I focused on gathering supplies, using my storage space. I collected everything useful: bottled water, canned food, medicine, blankets, tools, even a portable solar charger. By sunset, my storage space looked like a survival warehouse. Yet something bothered me. I still wasn't strong enough to fight. If I wanted revenge someday, I needed power. Real power. That opportunity came sooner than expected. I was searching a small pharmacy when I heard screams. Outside, a teenage boy was running down the street. 3 zombies chased him. He tripped and fell. The zombies lunged. Without thinking, I grabbed a metal pipe and ran forward. Hey! The zombies turned toward me. Bad idea. Very bad idea. My heart nearly exploded from fear, but it was too late to run. The first zombie charged. I swung the pipe. Crack! The zombie's skull shattered. A strange warmth entered my body. The second zombie attacked immediately. I dodged clumsily and struck again. Crack! Another kill. The third zombie nearly bit my arm before I smashed its head. Panting heavily, I stared at the corpses. I actually did it. Then something strange caught my eye. A tiny crystal glowed inside one zombie's skull. What is that? I picked it up. The moment I touched it, the system appeared. Zombie core detected. Absorb. Yes. The crystal dissolved into light. A warm energy flooded my body. Every muscle felt stronger. Every sense felt sharper. I could hear distant footsteps, smell smoke from blocks away, see details I couldn't before. My breathing quickened. This is amazing. So, this was how ability users became stronger. Zombie cores, the currency of power in the apocalypse. The teenage boy stared at me with wide eyes. You saved me. I shrugged. Try not to die next time. His face reddened. My name is Noah. Emily. He hesitated. Can I come with you? I almost said no. Traveling alone was safer. But then I remembered how terrified I had felt when Jason abandoned me. No one deserved to face the apocalypse alone. Fine. His face brightened instantly. Really? Don't slow me down. For the next week, Noah and I traveled together. He wasn't powerful. He wasn't brave. But he was loyal. And after what Jason had done, loyalty meant everything. Together, we hunted zombies, collected supplies, absorbed zombie cores. Slowly, my abilities evolved. My invisibility increased from 5 minutes to 8. My storage space doubled in size. Life seemed to be improving until we encountered our first evolved zombie. The creature stood over 7 feet tall. Its skin was black, its muscles bulged unnaturally, and its eyes glowed blood red. The moment it looked at me, every instinct screamed danger. The system suddenly flashed. Warning. Mutated zombie detected. Threat level high. The monster roared. Windows shattered. Cars trembled. Noah's face turned pale. Emily. My grip tightened around my weapon. For the first time since the apocalypse began, I felt genuine fear, and deep inside, I knew this battle would change everything. Chapter 3. The Ice Tyrant. The mutated zombie roared so loudly the ground trembled. Noah froze beside me. I didn't blame him. Even, I felt it, pure instinctive fear pressing down on my chest like a stone. The creature moved first. Fast. Too fast. It slammed into a parked car and sent it flying toward us. Run, I shouted. We barely dodged as the car crashed into a wall. My invisibility skill activated instantly. My body flickered out of sight, but the mutated zombie didn't hesitate. It sniffed the air, then turned directly toward me. It could sense me. Great, I muttered. Of course it can. I grabbed Noah and pulled him behind a collapsed building. We were trapped. No exit. No backup. Just a monster that could tear us apart in seconds. The mutated zombie stepped closer. Its claws scraped the concrete. Each step sounded like a death sentence. I reached for a zombie core in my pocket. If I absorbed it now, maybe I could get stronger, just enough to survive. But I knew the truth. It wasn't enough. Not even close. Then, the temperature dropped. Not slightly. Instantly. The air turned so cold my breath froze mid-exhale. What is this? Noah whispered. Ice spread across the street like a living thing. Crack. 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 Frozen spikes rose from the ground, impaling abandoned cars and blocking the creature's movement. The mutated zombie roared, again, this time in pain, and then a voice cut through the chaos. Cold. Calm. Deadly. Pathetic. A man walked through the frozen street like he owned the apocalypse itself. Long black coat, silver hair, eyes like winter steel. Every step he took left frost behind. The mutated zombie charged at him. He didn't move. He simply raised his hand. Freeze. The world stopped. The monster's body turned into solid ice midair, frozen in its attack pose. Then dash cracked. It shattered into pieces. Silence fell. Noah's mouth dropped open. I couldn't even speak. That level of power. It wasn't normal. The man glanced at us. His gaze landed on me. You're noisy, he said flatly. I frowned. Excuse me. He walked closer, looking me up and down like I was a broken tool, barely awakened. Weak, sloppy movements. You survived this long out of luck. My anger flared instantly. Who do you think you are? He stopped in front of me. The cold in his presence made my skin sting. I am Damien Black, the Ice Tyrant. So this was him. One of the strongest ability users in the wastelands. He looked at Noah. Child, leave. Noah immediately stepped back like his soul had left his body. Traitor. Then Damien turned back to me. You should have died. That hit harder than I expected. I clenched my fists. I didn't ask for your opinion for the first time. Something flickered in his expression. Amusement. Interesting. Before I could respond, he suddenly grabbed my wrist. Cold energy surged through me. My vision blurred. The world spun and then I collapsed. When I woke up, I was in an abandoned high-rise building. Snow drifted through broken windows. Damien stood by the edge of the floor, staring at the ruined city. "You're awake," he said. I sat up quickly. "Why did you bring me here?" "To test you." My patience snapped. "I'm not your experiment." He turned slightly. "You're if you're weak." I stood up angrily. "Stop calling me weak." A pause, then he walked toward me. Step by step. Until he was right in front of me. "You survived a mutated zombie," he said quietly. "But you hesitated. If I hadn't interfered, you would have died in seconds." I opened my mouth but nothing came out. Because he was right, Damien leaned closer. "You want to live in this world?" "Yes," I said firmly. "Then stop pretending you're still human." Those words hit deeper than any attack. Silence stretched between us. Then he tossed something at me. A glowing crystal. A zombie core but different. Darker. More powerful. "Absorb it," he ordered. I hesitated. "This could kill me." He shrugged. "Or make you stronger." I glared at him. "You really are insane." For the first time, he smirked. "Yes, that night, I absorbed the core." Pain exploded through my body. My vision shattered into fragments of light. I screamed. But I didn't stop. Something inside me broke. And something new awakened. My invisibility expanded. My storage space surged violently. And a new notification appeared. New skill unlocked. Shadow phase movement. When I opened my eyes again, Damien was watching me. Quiet, careful. For the first time, he didn't look bored. He looked interested. "You're not weak anymore," he said. A pause. Then he added, almost reluctantly, "Barely." I stared at him. "I still hate you." He turned away. "Good. Hate keeps you alive." But as he walked back toward the window, I noticed something strange. His ears were slightly red, and I realized the ice tyrant might actually be human after all. Chapter 4. The Tyrant's Training Grounds. First thing Damien did after bringing me to his territory was throw me into a battlefield. No warning, no preparation, just a cold command. "Go in." I stared at the ruined military zone in front of us. Broken tanks, collapsed bunkers, and hundreds of zombies wandering inside like a living graveyard. "You're insane," I said. Damien didn't even look at me. "You'll survive. And if I don't, then you were never worth my time." That stung more than I expected. Before I could argue further, he shoved me forward. The gate shut behind me. Silence. Then a groan. Dozens of zombies turned their heads toward me. My breath stopped. "Great," I muttered. "First day of training and I'm already lunch." I activated invisibility. Immediately, my body faded into the air. But Damien's voice echoed through a hidden speaker. "No hiding. Forever. Fight." I clenched my fists. "Fine." The first zombie lunged. I moved. Instinctively, shadow phase movement. Activating on reflex, my body slipped sideways like smoke. The zombie missed completely. I struck its neck with a pipe. Crack. It fell. Warm energy entered my body. Zombie core absorbed. More came. I didn't stop moving. Invisibility. Strike. Phase. Kill. Repeat. By the time the sun set, I collapsed in the middle of corpses, shaking. Damien appeared behind me without sound. "You survived." "I almost died 10 times. "Yes," he said. "That's called training." I hated him. But I didn't argue. Because I was alive. Chapter 5. The Blood Core Awakening. In the third day, Damien took me underground. A subway tunnel. Cold. Dark. "Wrong. You'll face something different today." he said. What kind of different? He didn't answer. The moment we entered, the air changed. Wet. Heavy. Alive. Then we saw it. A blood-core zombie. It wasn't just infected, it was evolving. Veins pulsed beneath its skin like glowing red rivers. It looked at me and smiled. I took a step back. Yeah, I whispered. I don't like that. It moved faster than anything I had seen before. I barely activated invisibility in time. The attack passed through where I stood. Concrete exploded. Damien didn't move. Don't rely on me, he said calmly. Excuse me. Fight. You brought me here. The zombie screamed and charged again. I forced myself to move. Shadow phase. Invisibility flicker. Strike. Miss. Pain shot through my arm as it barely grazed me. I fell back. Think. I told myself. Don't panic. The zombie lunged again. This time I didn't dodge. I phased. Partially. Its claw passed through my shoulder like mist. I used that opening and struck its core. Silence. Then core absorption completed me. Body burned. I screamed. My vision shattered. Then skill evolution. Invisibility. Phantom state. Partial intangibility enabled. I looked at my hands. I could feel space bending around me. Damien finally spoke. You adapted. Barely. A pause. Good, he said quietly. That was the closest thing to praise I had ever heard from him. Chapter 6. The man I buried. Alavidi survivor camp was supposed to be abandoned. It wasn't. Armed guards surrounded it. And at the center, Jason. My entire body froze. He smiled like he was greeting an old friend. Emily, he said. You're still alive. Behind him, Noah was kneeling, beaten. Something in me snapped. Damien stepped forward. I'll handle him. No, I said immediately. Jason laughed. Still emotional. That's why I left you. I walked forward. Each step heavier than the last. You left me to die. I said. I saved myself, he replied casually. Same thing. I said. The air shifted. My invisibility activated, but differently now. Not hiding. Splitting. Phantom after images formed around me. Jason's expression changed. What is that? I survived you, I said. That's all that matters. I moved. Fast. Invisible. Then visible again. Strike after strike. Jason blocked some, but not all. Blood spilled. He stumbled back. This isn't possible. You underestimated me, I said coldly. One final strike. He dropped to his knees. I leaned down. This time, I whispered, I choose who survives. Then I turned away, leaving him alive. Barely. Chapter 7. The Tyrant's Truth at Night. Damien stood alone on a rooftop. I joined him without speaking. After a long silence, he said, I killed my family. I turned sharply. What? He didn't look at me. Day 1. I awakened too late. They were already infected. His hands clenched. I froze the entire building, trying to save them. And they shattered when I broke the ice. Silence. Heavy. Broken. I stopped feeling after that. He said. I didn't know what to say. Then he added, until you. My heart skipped. What does that mean? He turned slightly, but didn't answer. Chapter 8. Core Lords territory. Entered the city of the Core Lords. Everything here was controlled. Clean streets, armed patrols, survivors living under strict rule, prison disguised as civilization. Damien said, they're strong. I replied, yes, and they want your ability. Of course they did. The attack came at night. Explosions. Snipers. Ability. Users appearing from rooftops. I fought beside Damien. For the first time we moved like equals. His eyes, my phasing, shadows. We didn't retreat. But we didn't win cleanly either. The core lords escaped, but they left a message. A mark burned into my arm. A tracking seal. Damien saw it. They've claimed you. I frowned. Let them try. He looked at me. You're reckless. And you're annoying. A pause. Good, he said again. Chapter 9. The girl. They fear humor spread fast, faster than zombies. Faster than fire. The phantom girl. She walks through death. She steals cores from monsters. She cannot be killed. Survivor camps began fearing me. Some worshipped me. Some hunted me. And Damien, he just watched. One night, I asked him, "Do you think I'm a monster too?" He answered immediately. Yes. I blinked, then he added, "But so am I." That stayed with me longer than I expected. Chapter 10. The war begins. Core lords declared open war, not just on me, on Damien too. Armies moved. Cities burned. Ability users gathered. Jason joined them. Stronger now, angrier, and no longer alone. You ruined everything, he said when we met again. I smiled. No, I saved myself. The battle that followed shook an entire district. Fire, ice, shadows, explosions, and somewhere in the chaos Damien appeared beside me. You're bleeding, he said. So are you, I replied. He looked at me. Don't die. I froze slightly. Since when do you care? He turned away. Since you became difficult to replace. But I saw it then. For the first time. The ice tyrant wasn't just protecting a weapon. He was protecting me. Chapter 11. The war declaration. Sky over the city turned black with smoke. Not from fire alone, but from war. Core lord banners were raised across rooftops, flashing red symbols that pulsed like living veins. Survivors below were ordered indoors. Lockdowns activated. Walls sealed. And then the message came. Broadcasted through every surviving speaker system. Emily Carter. Damien Black. Return the stolen cores. Or be erased. I stood on a shattered rooftop, watching the city transform into a battlefield. They're serious, I muttered. Damien stood beside me. Calm as always. They've always been serious, he said. Now they're just honest. A missile exploded in the distance. The ground shook. I frowned. We can't fight an entire faction. Damien glanced at me. We won't fight them. Then what? We destroy their structure. Simple. Terrifying. Damien. Black's logic. Chapter 12. Jason's evolution. Core lord. Headquarters was heavily guarded, but that wasn't the problem anymore. Jason was. When I saw him again, something felt wrong. He wasn't the same man who betrayed me. His aura was heavier, more unstable, like something inside him was breaking constantly and reforming. You really came back, he said, smiling, but his eyes were empty. What did you do to yourself? I asked. He laughed. I did what you did. Then he raised his hand. A black crystal embedded in his palm pulsed violently. I ate enough cores until I stopped being human. Damien stepped forward slightly. Fool, he said. You destabilized your evolution path. Jason tilted his head. Evolution? No, this is survival. The ground beneath him cracked. And then he moved. Faster than before. Stronger. Unstable. A hit from Jason sent Damien sliding back for the first time. I froze. Damien Black was pushed back. Jason smiled. Now, let's see who she belongs to. My blood ran cold. I don't belong to anyone. Jason's smile widened. That's what I used to think. Chapter 13. The betrayal inside the Worth battlefield exploded into chaos. Core lords, zombies, ability users, everything colliding at once. Damien and Jason fought like disasters. Ice shattered against black energy. Buildings froze then collapsed, and I moved between them. Phantom stayed active, But something felt wrong. Too wrong. Noah appeared in the ruins, alive, shaking, and holding a core. Lord Communicator, Emily, he whispered. They told me you were dangerous. My heart dropped. Noah, don't. He pressed a button. A signal pulse spread instantly. The air warped. My body froze mid-step. Core seal activated. Pain shot through my arm. The mark they placed earlier reacted. Damien turned sharply. Emily. But I couldn't move. I dropped to my knees. Noah stepped back, crying. I didn't know. I didn't know what it would do. And then Core Lord reinforcements arrived. They weren't here to fight. They were here for me. A live capture order. Damien's eyes darkened for the first time. You touched her. His voice wasn't cold anymore. It was empty. And that was worse. Chapter 14. Ice Tyrant. Unleash. Hedamine stopped holding back. The temperature dropped so fast the air cracked. Ice spread across the battlefield like a living ocean. Even Jason paused. You finally lost control, Jason muttered. Damien walked forward slowly. Each step froze reality itself. You don't understand, Damien said quietly. You don't get to touch what I protect. A massive wave of ice exploded outward. Entire buildings frozen. Seconds. Core Lord soldiers screamed as they turned into statues of frost. Jason blocked the attack but struggled. You're going to kill everyone, Jason shouted. Damien didn't respond. His eyes weren't human anymore. They were winter. I struggled against the seal. Damien, stop. But he didn't hear me, or he did, and didn't care. For the first time, I realized something terrifying. Damien wasn't fighting to win. He was fighting to erase everything that threatened me, even the world. Chapter 15. World Storage. Awakening. Core seal tightened. My vision blurred. Noah was crying. Jason was laughing. Damien was destroying everything. And I was trapped. Something inside me snapped. I'm done being controlled. My storage space reacted violently. The wide dimension expanded. Cracks formed in reality. A system alert exploded in my mind. Warning. Storage space overload. Evolution requirement met. I gasped. What? The seal burned into my arm, shattered. The Core Lord signal collapsed instantly. My body lifted into the air. Space twisted. And my storage dimension expanded outward, not inward, outward, into reality. Buildings vanished into storage. Weapons disappeared mid-air. Even bullets froze and dissolved into nothing. Jason's eyes widened. You're evolving? Damien finally turned toward me. For the first time he looked shaken. Emily, stop. But I couldn't. Or I wouldn't. The world bent. And a new system message appeared. Unique evolution unlocked. World storage domain ability. Store and retrieve matter within a controlled spatial field. He lowered slowly to the ground. Silence spread across the battlefield. Core Lords, zombies, even Jason, all staring at me. I looked at my hands. I'm not your weapon anymore, I said quietly. Then I looked at Jason. And I'm definitely not yours. Jason's expression darkened. You really changed. I smiled. No, I finally woke up. Damien stepped forward slightly, but stopped, like he wasn't sure if he was allowed to come closer anymore. And for the first time in the apocalypse, everyone feared me, not the phantom girl, not the survivor, but the girl who could erase the world itself. Chapter 16. The Girl Who Erases. Reality battlefield was silent after my awakening. Not peaceful silence, fearful silence. Even zombies stopped moving too close to me. I could feel it, my new power bending space around me like breathing fabric. Damien stood at a distance for the first time. He didn't approach immediately. Jason laughed softly. So this is it, he said. You've become a disaster. I lifted my hand. A broken building vanished into my storage domain instantly. No explosion. No debris. Just gone. My voice was calm. If I wanted, I could erase this entire battlefield. Jason's smile faded slightly. You're bluffing. I looked at him. Try me. Chapter 17. The first collapse. Jean attacked first. He wasn't human anymore. Black core energy surged through him like a storm. Damien intercepted him instantly, eyes clashing against corruption. The impact shattered the ground beneath them, but I didn't move. I didn't need to. I opened my storage domain slightly, everything in a 50-meter radius bent. Bullets stopped mid-air. Rubble floated upward. Jason hesitated for the first time. Stop using that power recklessly, Damien shouted. I blinked, reckless. I looked around at the war you all started. This. Then I closed my hand. A section of the battlefield simply vanished, not destroyed. Removed. Reality itself had a hole. Chapter 18. Noah's breaking point. Noah stood alone in the ruins. He was shaking, blood on his hands. He didn't look at me when I approached. I didn't mean to betray you, he whispered. I stayed silent. They forced me. They said they'd kill me if I didn't activate the seal. I stared at him. And you believed them. Silence. That was enough. Noah collapsed to his knees. I just wanted to survive. I turned away. Everyone does. Behind me, Damien appeared. He looked at Noah once and said, nothing. But I felt it. Judgment had already been made. Chapter 19. Damien's limit. Jason and Damien's fight escalated beyond reason. Ice cracked. Reality. Black energy corrupted space. And for the first time Damien was injured. Blood. Real blood. I froze. You're losing, Jason said. Damien wiped his mouth. No, he raised his hand, but his eyes didn't form. He paused, then quietly said, I've used too much power. Jason smiled. Finally. And struck. Damien fell. The ice tyrant, on the ground. I moved instantly. But something blocked me. Jason stood between us. You always looked at him, Jason said, even after everything. My eyes narrowed. You don't get to talk about him. Jason tilted his head. You still don't see it. He was never saving you. He was collecting you. Chapter 20. Truth of the core systema. Hidden core Lord Commander appeared, wounded, laughing. You don't understand your system, he said. My storage domain flickered. What do you mean? He pointed at me. Your power was never random. It was designed. Silence. Damien slowly lifted his head. Jason frowned. The commander continued. The apocalypse is not an accident. It is an experiment. And she is the final container. My breath stopped. Container? Everything you store is not gone. It is being gathered. Chapter 21. The stored world. Me storage space changed. Inside, I saw it, not emptiness, but fragments, cities, weapons, even pieces of land, all stored, all still existing. Damien appeared beside me. You didn't know? No, I whispered. Jason laughed softly. So you're a prison? My hands trembled. No, but the system responded. World storage core sinking complete. Chapter 22. Damien's confession. That night, Damien found me alone. I knew something was wrong, he said quietly. I didn't look at him. You still followed me, because I didn't care what you were, he said. I froze slightly. He stepped closer. I cared that you existed. Silence. Then he added, I think I started losing control of myself. The day I stopped wanting you to disappear. My heart skipped. That sounds like your problem, I said softly. He smirked slightly. It is. Chapter 23. Jason's final evolution. Jason absorbed something forbidden, a corrupted core. Lord Relic. His body shattered and reformed. He stopped looking human. I don't need humanity anymore, he said. His energy cracked the sky. Damien stood again, barely. He's beyond normal evolution. Jason looked at me. I'll take your storage core, and I'll become the world. Chapter 24. War of Three. Monsters. Jason. Me. Three forces collided. Ice. Corruption. Space. Deletion. The battlefield vanished piece by piece. Reality became unstable. Even time felt broken. Damien fought beside me again, but weaker, tired. Still standing. You still here? I asked. He smirked.